Welcome back to Entropia. This is Sturge with episode 18 of Profitable Mining in the Entropia Universe. Today I want to talk about skill implants, specifically mining skill implants, and how those can and do and will affect your mining overall maybe at a lower level. At much larger levels, skill implants would make a lot of sense because it's so much harder to gain skill. But at really low levels, there is a cost-benefit analysis that you have to do, and I want to look in and at that. I did it, to be honest. I actually skilled up in the beginning to be able to use the F105. I hated the grind, and this is grindy, but I hated the grind, and I wanted to scale up just so I could use the F105, and I did so, and I think it paid off for me. But what I learned from doing that was I only bought mining skill, and I realized that I was wrong in doing so. So I want to go over skill implants and their cost and the benefit and analysis of them. All right, let's take a look at what is available on the Calypso auction today for skill implants. And specifically, I'm going to look at surveying, prospecting, and mining, because those are the ones that matter the most, because those skills are tied to the finder you're going to use. And you got to keep that in mind. Don't worry about digging, and don't worry about excavating. Digging and excavating, you don't want to buy skill implants for. Sorry to all the people who are trying to sell those skills. I'm not trying to do you any kind of disservice. I'm just saying you need to learn those things as you go anyway, and you will learn them. They don't affect your hit rate, obviously, because once you have a hit, excavating and digging are separate. They just affect how quickly you do those actions. So don't buy digging or excavating. You're just going to want to focus on surveying, skill implants, prospecting, and mining skill implants. And this is what's available, and it's good. This is really good to see right here. Okay, so we're just, for a moment, look at this surveying skill implant. Kind of ignore what's going on in the screen there, and let's just talk about it. If you are level 1 to 25, buying skill implants of this value, and it looks like we've got a surveying at 14.7 ped, and a prospecting at right around 15 or so ped. Buying those, if you have the ped card, the money to do so will benefit you immediately, because it will get you into the use of not only the F105, but probably the TerraMaster 4, which is maxed at level 18, both surveying and prospecting. And not treasure. I'm not going to go over treasure in this. And always treasure is a part of a finder, but treasure is really exclusive to Arcadia Moon and Arcadia Underground and Planet Arcadia. So the reason I don't go over treasure and don't cover it is because it applies in the exact same way surveying and prospecting applies to a finder. So I'm certain you can extrapolate that as we go. So level 1 to 25. Do you have the PEDs? If you do, this is going to help you. Now, not necessarily profitability, but it will help you in your, not only in hit rate and the type of materials you find, because the finder is coupled to these skills. The finder is the tool. You just happen to have, your avatar happens to have the experience. But will you be profitable instantly? No. But you will see an immediate change in hit rate and composition if you're using a different finder. So if you were using an F101, you chip in, and now you're using an F105, yes, absolutely, and you're doing it at max, you're going to see a difference. But that doesn't necessarily mean each run is going to be profitable. You may get a better hit rate, but you may only get that because you just threw PED at it. And maybe you do get a global, but over time, that will sort of manage itself out. Even quitting while ahead will still be changed by chipping in a little bit. So keep that in mind. You won't be instantaneously profitable just by chipping in to these skills. And also, having said that, don't do as I did and don't just buy one of the skills. I accidentally bought just mining without understanding that prospecting and surveying were very, very important because they related directly to the finder that I was going to use. So now we're looking at these two particular auctions, and the reason I say this surveying and this prospecting is, and I've been bringing them up, is the look at the overall markup. The markup on surveying right now is around 2,500%, but the auction is going for 1,500% with 18 hours remaining. So this would be a really good idea to buy to try to get into this auction for both the surveying and the prospecting. They're both 1,000% the surveying is 1,000% lower, and the prospecting is 500 to 600% lower than normal. And you've got 18 hours to pick these up. So that might be a good investment. And that's something you have to keep in mind, is that if you see a skill implant well below the going monthly, weekly, daily, weekly and monthly rates are the most important. If you see it below, that's probably something you would want to invest in. And the reason I say that is that you want to amortize this purchase over time. And amortization is really just spreading out the cost of an investment over a period of time. And that's what we're going to try to do here. So if you could get it for 1,000 less percent, yeah, you might as well. But if let's say you were to buy this surveying and this prospecting skill implant and an equivalent maybe 10 ped mining skill implant, and you spent 700 ped on those, $70 US, that would be a good balance. But if you just did one of them, the balance would be off, and that would skew what you're going to be doing mining overall and over time. Therefore, to avoid the imbalance, you'd want to buy a skill implant for both surveying, prospect, and mining at the same time to keep that balance as you move forward. And then, of course, take that cost and amortize it over the next year or two in your profits while mining. The other topic that often comes up, and a lot of people make clickbait videos telling you, you can make mining a profession, or they ask the question and then never answer it because they don't know the answer to that question. The answer is, if I start the game right now, can I be profitable just chipping in and then making mining my profession, knowing nothing else about the game? And the answer is no, you can't, because you don't know anything else about the game. You don't know where to find the resources. You don't know what resources are worth what in markup. You don't know who to sell them to. You can't just win on TT. We all know that. So all of those things together make it so you cannot make this a profession day one. It takes an incredible amount of time. Now, if you already know the auction house, and you know resellers, and you know the value of markup and the demand alone for all of the resources you're going to go and get, and then where to find them, you probably could do it. But see, that skill that your avatar doesn't have, that you as a person have, and that skill is why you can't make this a career minute one. Can you make it a career, mining a career over time? Absolutely. But as we've discussed in the last 17 videos, it takes time, and it takes knowledge, and it takes savvy and experience. So I think anyone who offers you a clickbait video that says, can you be profitable mining as a career in the Entropia Universe? Don't click on those. Those are not going to get you where you need to go. You got to build up your knowledge in Entropia to be able to be profitable. And the overall truth about being profitable is, if you're not selling for markup, you're not going to be turning a profit. You're just not going to quit ahead enough times to be able to be profitable without markup. So that is the underlying take-home message. Buying chips? Absolutely. These are great. Looking at this prospecting, this surveying, and this one particular mining 10.6 or something, mining ped, or mining skill implant. Yes, buy those. Absolutely. if you're between levels 1 and 25. But after that, there's diminishing return. And I don't want you to think that you're going to, that the hype is going to stay there. It just isn't. And as I said earlier, keep in mind that your skills, surveying and prospecting, are directly tied to the tool that you are using to find your resources. In this case, it's the Terramaster 4 for me, or F105, or F101, or whatever it is I'm using. And if you have maxed your skills, then you're utilizing your finder at the highest level and capacity. Again, not talking about treasure. I don't have the treasure level, so I don't mine for treasure very often because I don't have the skill to mine for it. But remember, the tool is coupled. The tool, the finder, is what you're using. And so, yes, skill implant can get you to the use of a nicer finder at different, depending on different depths and different ranges, but mostly depth is important here. But you have to couple it with other things. So it has to be surveying and it has to be prospecting. And the mining, of course, will help you as well. If the finder, if it's what you want to do is use a specific finder, then chipping in will do just that for you. As well as you have to be able to say, can I afford this? Can I afford $70 right now to get so many levels? Now, in later, way later down the road, when you have mining level of 50, you might want to buy surveying and prospecting and mining skill implants just because the grind is so challenging. And that's just really that's just up to you. It's a personal preference. But I think it's viable early on as long as you're willing to amateurize the cost over time. All right, I want to make sure that I'm clear about one particular thing. Those auctions that I was highlighting, I'm not highlighting because I want to promote those particular auctions. I'm highlighting them because they just happen to be below the monthly and weekly markup values. And so it was lucky, timely for me to show that example. I would never get on here and promote any particular auction, even my own. I think that's a conflict of interest. And having said that, I also want to cover one final topic. It's been said many times in many places throughout not only the Calypso forums, but in other avenues, videos, Twitch streams. Don't pay for mining information. Don't pay for mining locations. Anyone who says to you, hey, I will show you this great location if you pay a fee in PED or if you subscribe to my Twitch channel or my premium YouTube channel, I'll give you this information. That is the reason this game gets a really bad rap. It's because some players want to get paid for information you can learn for free by just doing your homework. That's why I made that last video. This game is full of people who were willing to help you for free, to give you their knowledge and to try to steer you in the right direction. I hope I'm one of those people, because I will never ask you for money for this information, because that's really and truly, I'm doing this as a service to the community. And I get a little passionate. I had to take a break there because I get a little passionate about this. I just think it's really an awful thing to do to the community, to say you have to pay for this information. So I appreciate everyone in the game who sends me a private message, who joins my Twitch stream, who is here on YouTube, who says, thank you very much for the information. This is helping me. I want to go get into mining now because now I feel like I'm comfortable. That makes me incredibly happy because now I've given you something. I've given the community something to look forward to. And it's not that, gambling aspect that some YouTuber decided he was going to make his video about. There's a community here, and to promote that community, you have to give. And it comes back in spades because all of those people who watch these videos say, wow, this is actually a viable way to play the game and to have fun with it. Because if you keep your ped longer, the longer you're going to play the game. You're going to quit if you're not making money. That's just, every game is that way. If you can't get the currency to play the game, you're not going to play. I'd rather you play. And I'd rather be able to give you that information for free so that you keep your money longer and hopefully turn a profit. So I hope that helps everybody. And I appreciate all of you for your comments. I appreciate all the thumbs up and thumbs down on these videos. It does mean a lot to me. It helps me understand the content that you're looking for, as well as what content I should put out in the future. So thank you all for watching. This is Sturge signing off. Ciao for now.